So we are here today with Sean Ward,
Hello.
who is Toronto's resident vlogger. And for those of you who don't know what vlogging is, Sean will nicely explain that to us. So Sean, why don't you let the Tech Vibes audience know what exactly it is you do?
Well, what I do presently is I carry this camera with me everywhere I go, and in fact, I'm vlogging you, dear viewer, right now as I speak. So I take this video with me just about everywhere I go.
Okay.
And, well, not just about, everywhere I go it goes with me. And then I take what goes on in the day and put it all together in a little short form movie.
Okay.
And put one of those up every single day, sometime between 7 and 10 minutes long. And I put a lot into like the post-production of it and whatnot, but that's not necessary just to call it vlogging. Just what is vlogging? It's like vlogging but in video form.
Okay, so tell us what you think the future of vlogging is. So why has vlogging not necessarily met the mass adoption that vlogging has?
I would say that what holds vlogging back from that mass adoption is the technical know-how that's required, right? You've got to know how to operate a camera, and that's beyond just start, stop, the record button. I'm talking about like learning the art of video and the art of photography.
Right.
Framing, pacing, editing. These are all things that a lot of people don't associate with amateur video or internet video, but it's just the same rules that apply to good filmmaking in any other arena apply here.
Okay.
And so why hasn't it had more of a mass adoption? Well, probably because people try it a couple times and discover that it's actually quite difficult.
Okay. So what types of social media tools do you use to reach your audience and to get as much of a following as you can?
Well, my main ones are Twitter, of course.
Yeah.
Facebook. Facebook. A lot of people poo-pooed it when Twitter took off big, but I never did. I still think it's very valuable. Formspring, I get a lot out of. That's an important part of my matrix. And Daily Booth I use a lot. So I think that those, you might look at those as the four kind of pillars of YouTube, if that counts as a social media service.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be like my list of power apps right there, I guess.
Okay. And do you plan to take this vlogging and sort of integrate it into another business idea and connecting it with key influencers within the Toronto tech community? What are your sort of next steps when it comes to your art?
Well, the next steps is to, now that I've kind of got the hang of the daily vlogging and I've got a rhythm and a routine going, I actually want it to be sort of a behind-the-scenes peek at the next thing I do. And that's kind of what I always saw it as, was sort of, there's two sides to it.
Yeah.
Number one was to kind of take the viewer behind the scenes of like the day-to-day life of somebody who's like an artist in the world. So like as I make short films, and then hopefully as we go on later on, like full-length movies, the viewer will come along and see what goes on behind the scenes on a day-to-day, as it happens, almost real-time basis. Same thing with any events that I get involved with, or any art shows I get involved with, just any of that kind of stuff. I'm really into demystifying the behind-the-scenes of it, while at the same time celebrating what an artist has to go through to get their name out there.
Okay.
Which is why that brings us to the second flip side of it, which is that I want it to be just like a celebration of all that is Toronto for the people who live it, know it, love it.
Breathe it.
Exactly. Like I did a lot of traveling last year, and I went looking for like other cities equivalent to what it just kind of feels like Toronto's got going on. So basically how it goes is that for me, the social media scene in Toronto, it just feels like this new thing. It feels like what I imagine it must have felt like to be a Rolling Stone or a Beatle in London 1967 walking around, right?
Yeah.
It just has that kind of swing in London 67 feeling.
That excitement.
Exactly, and I want to document it. I want to be a big part of I want to be part of turning the world onto that.
Okay, so how does an event, so we're here today at Social Media Club Toronto. We're here with the founders, Chris Hewer and Christy Wells. So how does, exactly, Social Media Club. How does an event like Social Media Club that is here at Say What?
Yeah.
Kareem, you want to take a look at Say What? So how does an event like this help build your brand as, Sean Ward, video blogger in Toronto?
Well, it's an interesting question because I sort of I get what see what you're getting at, but I wouldn't really phrase it like that myself. Because for me, it's just a going out, like checking in at the office almost for me, right? Like checking in with the people who I know and whatnot. So me to be out, meeting people, meeting who they know, and then people bring other people over, and I meet other people. And so, you know, on a nuts and bolts level, yeah, some of the people who I meet tonight are probably going to go home and check out my YouTube channel and start watching some of my videos, and maybe I'll even make them a subject of a vlog, you know, next week. So it's just this constant thing of just doing more living, if that makes any sense, right? Like,
could we argue that that all contributes to your brand, though?
oh, we sure could. We sure could make that point.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not for me a conscious thing of I'm going to go out to this event because I think it's going to be good for my brand.
Yeah.
For me, it's about just going and being around people who I'm interested in, who I care about, and who I get something from, and we're all just, you know, having a lot of fun. So yeah, does that also then help build the brand? Well, of course it does. But I think that's just a part of sort of being an artist, to sort of like finding kind of that corner of the world you fit into, and then just getting in with a bunch of people who can all kind of help each other come up.
Cool, I like that. That's it. Thanks so much, Sean, for talking to us.
Thank you for having me talk.
And we're looking forward to seeing this all being vlogged.
You'll do it.
Great.